has gotten good. All right, you can code with AI. That is very, very clear now, and people are doing that and they're having a good time. Can it get you to 100% of the way in one shot? Absolutely not. Can it get you 100% of the way in two shots? Absolutely not. Oh, well, absolutely not. Can it get you there maybe within 10, 15, 20 shots? Yeah, it probably has that potential if you know what you're doing as well. So it always comes back to the principle of the AI is always as good as the human using it. And in this case, we need good people that are using AI the right way, in like the private, localized, open source manner. We now need these people to start creating models. And that's exactly why I have started to do the same thing, because I want to contribute back to this world. And I would just love for some of our models just to live out there in the world and just, be available as open source, and people can pick them apart and see how it works and things like that. We're not experts on this. No one really is, to be honest. Like, we're all learning every single day. This is such an industry that literally changes every minute almost. Something new comes out, something extraordinary happens, something revolutionary exists. It's just this world is an incredibly fast evolving world, and we're all just trying to keep up as fast as we can. And now it's going to be all about fine-tuning models to be better or be the best at task-specific use cases, as opposed to using generalized large models for everything. It just makes sense to me as well. Yesterday I made a bit of an analogy on, or rather an example, using Acoder. So we have a tool orchestration system, right? So if you're using a local model to do your coding, which is perfect, well done. You can choose a cloud model to be a tool orchestrator for you, coding, which is perfect, well done. You can choose a cloud model to be a tool orchestrator for you. So the cloud model decides what tools to send to your local model, so it doesn't fill up the context with like 50 plus tools. Very, very, very simple principle, but super effective. Now, we're using a cloud model because obviously we want it to be super fast when it's doing that. But now models are getting so small, like LFM 2.5, for example, which is a 1.2 billion parameter model. If you quantize that to Q4KM, it's like 600 megabytes in size. 600 megabytes. Imagine fine-tuning a model like that to be your tool orchestrator. That would run on a CPU. That could run on anything. It could run on a toaster. It could run on a smartwatch, perhaps. And it could be the tool orchestration system all in one model. And that's a sole purpose in life, and that's all it's going to do until the computer blows up, I guess, at some point. But only because we're having fun with models on device. But and that's a joke, by the way. Computers don't explode because you're fine tuning and stuff. That doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, it's actually the software is really optimized. It's really nicely optimized to run on NVIDIA hardware, to run on Apple Silicon, to even to AMD and Intel as well, to be honest. But anyway, this is now where we're heading. We are going into a world where we can now create task-specific models and create our AI team, a team of not agents, but AI models, task-specific models that will be baked into task-specific agents. You're probably thinking, is that necessary to do? Because if you create an agent, can't you just put RAG in there, custom prompts, skills, all those kinds of things, and just get it to do the same task? Yes, 100% you can. But there's a lot of steps in between that. There's a lot of tools in the toolbox when you do that. And when you add that level of complexity, if something goes wrong, it can take a little bit longer to debug and resolve. Whereas if you fine tune a model for that task specific thing, and it has been trained on calling the right functions and responding the way you want it to, and has the information that you want it to know. Again, fine tuning is not a replacement for RAG, however, but it is good for adding new knowledge to its existing intelligence. No guarantee that it will be able to retain everything that you wanted to know about your company, for example. You may still need to use RAG there, but you might not need to use, maybe, okay, this example is getting out of hand. What I'm trying to say is, we're in an AI agent situation where you would use perhaps 5 tools to add onto the AI model, onto the agent for it to do its job. Through fine tuning, you could probably reduce that to 3, maybe 3 or 2 tools, only because you've baked in a lot more information and a lot more guidance as to when and what to do kind of thing. I'm definitely not explaining this properly, but it will make more sense once I show you the model. But anyway, this article is really hilarious. Because we just did that, obviously, but this shows that it's not just open source, right? I mean, we are using an open source model to grab this information, and I did use Olama Cloud to grab the information, so it's like their Perplexity basically. But this is saying that 51% of all AI answers had significant issues. So if we go to some of these sources here, okay, yep, so that's correct, JD Vance, yep, but it's not saying that, is it? What it's actually saying is that it's saying that 90% of the answers contain factual errors. So what they're saying is it's not just the AI that's grabbing the wrong information, it's getting the wrong information because somehow the articles being written are factually incorrect. Which is that a newsflash to anyone, or is that a shock to anyone that articles have misinformed us? But anyway, so yeah, okay. 13% of quotes attributed to BBC articles were either altered or didn't even exist in the original article. So they also known as hallucinated. That's what happened there. So perhaps if you use the fine-tuned model, maybe that would not have happened. Some examples of errors: ChatGPT and Copilot claimed that Rishi Sunak and Nicola Sturgeon were still in office after they had left. Is this true? I honestly don't keep up. He's MP now, is he? Served as Prime Minister. Okay, so it is. So okay, so who is the Prime Minister now? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to. I'm so sorry. I don't know who the UK Prime Minister is right now. It is Keir Starmer. Okay. Right. He's the Prime Minister. Right. Okay. Sorry. I haven't been keeping up because I've been too busy fine-tuning models. It's like almost being like a mad scientist sometimes doing this, because you do kind of feel like it. Hey, it's exciting. It gives you so many different opportunities to think about, and that excites you even more. And then it's just like, anyway, okay. What else do we have here in the news? And Perplexity falsely stated that the date of TV presenter Michael Mosley's death. When asked about convict Lucy Letby, each individual to decide how many medical. Okay, I'm not gonna have an opinion on that. Google reverses ban on AI for weapons and surveillance.